What's up, YouTube? I'm Z, and this channel shows you the world through my lens. I just reacted to In the Fire live from the Brits. Crazy performance. But as promised, because I try my absolute best, I'm not going to say that it always works out well, but I try my absolute best to stick to my word. And as I mentioned, I would do that plus the next song on the track list. And the next song on the track list is called Three Rivers. So I have the lyrics pulled up here on this side. Let me just move them over a touch. Yeah, I think we're ready to go. Let's check it out. Oh no. I feel like the moment I hear like the emotional keys being pushed on the piano, I'm in trouble. All right, here we go.
Look, imagine an island where the party never ends, where it's less about money and it's more about friends, where the vibes can't done. It's less about funding and more about fun. Tropical sun, that's life in the 60s coming from the Caribbean. You know Ian, Delroy, Vivian, Winston, who got drafted to England. Windrush babies from Kingston to Brixton. To say that a life for the...
Sorry. We gotta pull that back. Yo, the way he said who got drafted to England, so basically like, you know, forced to come over from the Caribbean to the UK. And then he said Windrush before I accidentally pressed something. And then I believe that people were saying that the generation of people that were forced to come over from the islands were referred to as Windrush babies, I believe.
Caribbean, you know Ian, Delroy, Vivian, Winston, who got drafted to England. Windrush babies from Kingston to Brixton. To say that the life of the party are wrong, my Jamaicans the entire party. I can't see Big Notting Hill Carney, I can't see. And the ride's fiberglass G, I want see. Imagine a place where you raise your kids, the only place you live says you ain't a Brit. They're deporting our people and it makes me sick, cause they were broken by the country that they came to fix. It's like they came.
Yo, what? That's crazy. Listen, a lot of respect, like, to tackle issues like this. It's not sexy. It's unfortunately leads to controversy, can lead to a lot of hate, a lot of backlash, just because it makes people uncomfortable. And it might not even be that deep down they necessarily disagree, but because it makes them uncomfortable, they can't get deep down, and the surface level discomfort translates as like anger or pushback, right? And then there are a lot of people who deep down unfortunately do feel a certain way about things like this. But this is nuts for him to put it like this. Imagine a place where you raise your kids, the only place you live says you ain't a Brit. They're deporting our people. It makes me sick because they were broken by the country that they came to fix.
The invitation of the British government.
Broken by the country that they came to fix. It's like
They came at the invitation of the British government. Their passports were stamped indefinite leave to remain. But for some who were children then, that was a false promise.
37 years of paying taxes, and I got a letter saying that I was a legal immigrant. I came to England at the age of 10, and I've lived here all my life.
Look, imagine a world that's flawed and full of evil, where dictators and leaders are persecuting your people. The bodies of the innocents are piling to the steeples. The ironic part is they're preying on the feeble. That's life in the 90s. You're Eastern European and you're seeing people dying because they're fighting for their freedom. They show you violence for having a voice. You move out with your kids and hope of having a choice. Life throws you a spanner, you can't have.
I just feel like it's like just this line right here, like everything he said so far in this verse is madness. But this line right here, they show you violence for having a voice. You move out with your kids in hope of having a choice. Like, that's what and this is something a lot of people don't grasp. Anyways, I could talk about this forever, but yo, this guy's going crazy right
a
now.
voice. You move out with your kids and hope of having a choice. Life throws you a spanner, you can't handle the pain. So you gamble and you drink and then you gamble again. You argue with your wife and then you sleep on the couch. You hit your children and start freezing them out. You try and work things out, but it's never the same. All the women in your household are living afraid. When you look into the mirror, you're reminded again that you become the dictator you are fighting against. It's like,
Bro, this guy's ability to put stories together. You look into the mirror, you're reminded again that you've become the dictator you were fighting against. Wow.
We are fighting for our rights, for our motherland, and that we are fighting for our homes, fighting for our
look, imagine a world that's fucked and untrue, where the many pay a price for the few. And every day the sun rises a little later. That's how it is when your oppressor is your liberator. That's right now living in the Middle East. Praise Allah for the peace. Death from a sky little with stars. You run away with your kids so you can give them a chance. But your asylum, it's got you in a different war. Because the British want to know what you're living it for. We rely on migration more than ever before. They're key workers but they couldn't even get in the door. When you're at heaven.
Yo, that again, the way he puts things together. They're key workers, like essential workers, they're key workers, but they couldn't even get in the door. But like key as in the keys to the door, key workers. No, man, this is...
Heaven's gates, what you telling the Lord? You wouldn't even let a kid into some shit in the door. When you're at heaven's gates, what you telling the Lord? You wouldn't even let a kid into some steadier shores. That's a life they may never afford. Surely you would want to give your people chances that were better than yours, no?
In 10 years of conflict, nearly 12,000 children have been killed or injured.
The children here are just a tiny fraction of the estimated 6 million in need of emergency humanitarian assistance. Thought perhaps as many as 3 million no longer live in their own homes, and up to 2 million children no longer attend school. The opportunities of this generation have been changed forever by this conflict.
Man, you know, I was saying this about, I don't know if I said this on a Dave reaction or I was saying this on somebody else's song. And then I'm going to let it play out. But just, I feel like the mark of great music is more than like what it sounds like. I think like the mark of great music is when it can provoke thought, or it can cause you to feel an emotion or remind you of thoughts or emotions that you've had. And I feel like when music can do that, it's so powerful. And I feel sad for people that maybe don't have that connection to it, because like maybe they have other things. But like for me, I have so many songs that just have gotten me through something, or remind me that I've made it through something, or are currently helping me cope with things. It's just so powerful. And sometimes like you get these artists that are just special and hit the mark over and over again. And that's what I'm getting from Dave so far. Like, I'm so early in my journey, right? Like, I think my Dave playlist has like 28, 29 videos. So that's like 28, 29 songs that I've done. Like, he has more, so there's still more content for me to check out. But it's I don't know. It's so powerful.
I went to silence when I need to know who the fuck I was, bro. hear anyone else, shut everyone else out. So I could just hear myself, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because we live in this world, yeah? You stand still, the way the tide's set up, it will take you away from yourself. You feel me? So then I was like, all right, cool. But I had to get silent, but it's not like man was going against the tide, because going against the tide still makes it about them. Still makes it about the poison that you've internalized that's in your mind. You feel me? It's like, bro, like, why am I in this water? Man, this is not even water. It doesn't even like me. It's not even for me. It's not taking me where I want to go. It's not taking me where I want to go. It's who the fuck I am, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like the tide will tell me that being black is an obstacle. You know what I'm saying? I had to switch rivers, bro. And say being black is an asset. I am who I am because I'm black. And I love everything about that. You feel me? And that's who the fuck I am.
Oh yeah, I like that part a lot. Because if, like, for me, when I hear that part, it's like we're competing in somebody else's game. We're running somebody else's race. They made the rules, and the rules said that we weren't supposed to make it, and we weren't supposed to win. So it's rigged, right? And what this part is talking to me about is stop playing their game, stop running their race. It's time for us to make our own rules. I say us, like, obviously, you know, different races, but, like, you know, being a brown person, you also grow up with these standards of, like, you are less, you know, you're not going to accomplish as much, you're less capable, you're worth less, you're not as pretty, not as handsome, whatever. Like, these are all the things that you're made to feel, whether it's, you know, blatantly and outright, or, you know, subconsciously, subliminally. But these are the messages that we grow up with. And I think messages like this are super important to, like, break those chains that tell you you're less or you can't, right? But why not? And then this part right here, I say being black is an asset, but, like, that applies to everything. Like, why, like, how is this my advantage? And you start thinking like that, and it changes everything. Anyways, wow, man, this, like, I don't really know if there's anything else left for me to say. I'm just gonna go ahead and end the reaction right there, guys. If you're still here, I appreciate you spending your time with me. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you next time.